Hello and welcome to the EduTalk series hosted by Biotone EduPartner Program, and massage industry experts. With the growing interest and popularity of the EduTalk series, Biotone continues to support virtual learning and building massage community by connecting you with industry experts who share their knowledge and expertise on topics not only for class discussion, but career success. Tonight's expert is Dr. Tiffany Ryan, who for over 15 years was a social worker. Then after earning her PhD, Tiffany decided to learn about integrative care. Her decision returned her to school for massage and yoga, where she focused on incorporating mind-body connection to improve overall well-being, leading her in 2018 to co-found Yomassage, a fusion of relaxing and supportive restorative poses, hands-on massage therapy, and mindfulness practices. Let's listen and learn as Tiffany discusses new and innovative approaches to facilitate a deep mind-body connection during bodywork sessions. She'll share tools and techniques to use on a daily basis for regulating the nervous system, ultimately creating beneficial long-term outcomes for you and your clients. And with that, hello, Tiffany. Welcome. Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. I know we have a lot to cover, so I'm going to bow out. I'll see you on the other side, and it is all yours.
Amazing. Thank you, Donnell. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right. Here we go. So thanks for having me. This is always fun. I love talking about what I'm most passionate about, which is Yomassage and the mind-body connection. This kind of already was talked about by Donnell. So you have my background and what led me to Yomassage. What you didn't hear is that Yomassage is a training, a continuing education training that we do offer for massage therapists to take. So that if any of this piques your interest, then I hope you reach out to learn more about what we're doing. So today I'm going to walk you through a little bit about the nervous system, touch, stretch, breath, and then we'll have some time for some Q&A. Now, I know you're probably like, yeah, I know about the nervous system, I know about touch, and maybe I even know a little bit about stretch and breath. And we do learn that stuff in massage school and as in our careers as we move along. But there's quite a bit of research on this that I think we don't talk enough about, and we really don't get deep enough into, because what we're doing every day with clients, this is the stuff. And often I think it gets a little overlooked. So I'm hoping this reinvigorates some interest and thought about how we can incorporate these things into sessions. So we'll start with the nervous system. How is the nervous system part of the mind-body connection? So it actually is. The nervous system is the vehicle through which the mind and body are connected. So the mind impacts the body impacts the mind, and this is all conducted through our nervous system. A little review about the different sides of the nervous system. We have the parasympathetic. This is known as like the rest and digest phase. This is when we're super relaxed. This is what's happening to our clients when they are in a massage session, hopefully, if they're feeling safe, if they're not feeling pain. So this is something that's interesting about Yomassage. We generally use light to medium pressure, and we can do firm as well, but what we're trying to avoid is accessing pain receptors. The second we access pain receptors, our body switches into the sympathetic nervous system and leaves our parasympathetic. And the whole mission and idea behind Yomassage is to keep us in our parasympathetic for as long as possible, so that our neural pathways can start developing on the parasympathetic side, instead of moving straight to a stress response, right? So we avoid using or hitting pain receptors. However, we also want to touch deeply enough that our clients are sensing what's happening in their body. They're noticing what they're feeling in their body. That's also very, very important. And so there are a lot of ways that we can impact our nervous system and help our clients get into the parasympathetic. And that is through touch, stretch, breath, and mindfulness practices. So what happens when we're in the sympathetic and not in the parasympathetic? That's when our stress hormones like cortisol start pumping in the body, and the body starts to not fully function. Our heart rate might increase, our blood flow comes to our direct organs that we need to survive, instead of throughout the body as it should be. And it takes a while for that to diminish. We can't go right out of sympathetic back into parasympathetic. It takes a little bit for us to calm ourselves down. And so this can have negative impacts on gastrointestinal issues, our immune system, our cardiovascular system, our endocrine system, and obviously our nervous system. Okay, so how do we increase the parasympathetic then? Well, it's minimizing stress, right, is a big one. And I want to actually preface all this with sympathetic's important. It's important to be able to have a sympathetic stress response, because that's what helps keeps us safe, right? In scenarios where there actually is something we need to be kept safe from. What's happened though now is a lot of folks are just so used to going to that sympathetic side. And I keep using these hand motions because our neural pathways are kind of like trails, right? And so if one is overgrown with bushes and weeds and whatever, and it's harder to get through, we're going to choose the other route. We're going to choose the route that's clean and easy to go through. And that's the one that's been used most. So if our stress response is being used the most, that's where we go more easily. And so that's what we want to try to do, is now clear this route out, the parasympathetic route. And we can only do that by spending time there, by spending more time in a relaxed state. And so as massage therapists, we have this unique opportunity where we have somebody with us for 60, 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours, and we can help cultivate that and give them the tools for them to do that throughout the week or the month or in between sessions with you. And they can do that through some deep and rhythmic breath work, right? If we have a longer exhale than inhale, then that actually slows our heart rate down. So guiding clients through that. Stretching accesses the same sensory receptors that massage does. And so when those sensory receptors are activated, our feel-good hormones start pumping. So stretch is a great way. Obviously, therapeutic touch, massage, and generating feelings of love, gratitude, calm, peace, which can be done through guided meditation. So this nervous system is something that can be developed. Nervous system regulation can be developed, right? And we are in a very unique position to do that. Again, emotions in the body. So this is the importance, I believe, of having a very safe space that you're providing for your clients. When we come in and we're feeling angry, scared, guilty, anxious, whatever, that is contributing to issues in the body. So when somebody comes in and says, oh, my neck, oh my gosh, my shoulders, often Not always, right? There are some physical injuries that just happen, but often this is related to some kind of mind-body connection issue. So if we aren't also treating the mind while we have our client there, we're missing a real opportunity. I'm realizing I am talking a lot more than I thought I was on a couple slides. So I'm going to kind of move through some of these that I think maybe I've already touched on a little bit. So breath and mindfulness, there's a lot of research behind these two things on how they help connect our mind with our body. So you might have done some breath work on your own. And when you're focusing just on your breath, you automatically are in your body, right? You're out of your head and you're into your body. And what's so unique and fascinating about it is you're actually using your mind to do that. So we talked about the neural pathways. When you are walking your clients through breath work or guided meditation, they're able to take that with them, right? They have those same visualizations that you gave them to go to when they leave, which is really, really a huge gift for them. Okay, hormones. This is interesting. I actually just came from my own massage appointment right before this, and my massage therapist and I were talking about just how we think we have so much control over how we interact in life, but hormones are calling the shots on pretty much everything. Our hormones dictate how we respond to life and to situations. And when we're stressed or worried, our bodies are producing hormones that cause physical harm, cause inflammation and illness. And so if we are producing these hormones on a consistent basis, we actually become used to the feeling of it and even addicted to their production. So when you're caught in a cycle of negativity and negative thinking and whatever, this is part of the neural pathway thing that we talked about earlier, but also our bodies just knows to expect it and then seeks out even scenarios that then produce those hormones. That's a pretty wild thought. And we need some intervention to help us change these patterns. So, we talked about meditation and visualization. They are very, very powerful. Massage, yoga, Reiki, energy modalities, anything connecting the mind and body is going to help us begin to visualize something different for ourselves. And when we visualize those things, that's when we start producing the feel-good hormones, and the stress hormones that are not good for us begin to decrease. So we have so much power over this stuff. And that, I think, is just so exciting, for our clients to be able to share this kind of knowledge with them around how much power we actually do have over both our mental and our physical and emotional health. Okay, let's see. I think I'm going to skip over that. So we're going to get into the power of touch, which is all of our jam, right? We love touch and how amazing it is. So by focusing on the sensations felt in the body, you are actually practicing mindfulness. And this is a missed opportunity. I think that happens a lot in a massage as well. We're just doing our thing. It feels amazing for our client, but how many times do you think our client is maybe thinking about the fight they got in before they got on the table, or the grocery list that they have when they leave your table? So really capitalizing on this opportunity to help your client stay in the moment and focus on the sensations in their body. We call this induced meditation. That's exactly what massage is induced meditation, as long as we are helping facilitate that connection for the client. So I covered this a little bit about the specific sensory receptors that react specifically to different types of touch. So a caress, an itch, pain, and each one of these receptors will activate a different part of the brain. And so when therapeutic touch is perceived in a positive manner, it feels safe. You're not accessing the pain receptors. This actually boosts the immune system and increases feelings of social connectedness and belonging. It's just amazing. Every time I talk about this, I just get it is amazing what we do. It is beyond getting a knot out, way, way beyond getting a knot out, what we're doing. And so touch has been shown to increase beneficial neurotransmitters. These have been shown to reduce depression, the effects of stress, and we, have already talked about how cortisol is damaging, but it really, really is very pervasive in a lot of these big things like cancer and other, immune disorders. It's the hormone that we just need to make sure we're not producing too much of. Like I said, it's beneficial sometimes, but the way it is for most people, it is not. So this is, again, just some research to back up how important massage is in terms of hormone production. So, one study found that oxytocin was increased by 27% after only 15 minutes of light pressure massage. That's massive. And oxytocin is this hormone that is associated with social bonding, trust, generosity, empathy, all of these amazing feelings that people want to have, right? Okay, the power of breath and mindfulness. We've talked just a little bit about this, but so why is mindfulness an important part of this? When we are able to focus on one thing, it helps us to take all of those other stressful things that are going on in the background of our mind, and it dumps them, right? If we can focus on just one thing. That one thing can be our breath. It can be the feeling of the table underneath us. It can be the sensation I'm feeling as you're massaging my hand. It can be a feeling that I'm sensing when I'm stretching. So it really is just one thing, but the body is such a powerful tool to be able to notice, because it's right there. You're feeling something, you're noticing something. And if you can just focus on that, that is the opportunity we're creating for the new neural pathways. Yeah, and this kind of just reiterates that, right? We're always doing a million things and multitasking. And this concept of mindfulness is the form of meditation that we really utilize at Yomassage, maintaining present awareness of thoughts and feelings. And so how we do that in a session, well, in Yomassage, we work in a small group up to 5 people, and it's floor-based. And this is the whole idea of the social connection and social component that is crucial for our mental and emotional well-being. But we also, we have a spa, the Yomassage Social Spa. And at the spa, we also do one-on-one massage on the table. And how we do that in both of those environments is in the group environment, roughly every 3 to 4 minutes, I'm giving some kind of mind-body cue. So it's notice, and they're in a restorative stretch, right? So it's, notice how the rib cage is expanding, and the little tiny muscles that are connecting each rib cage are finding just a little bit more space with every deep breath. Or then maybe the next 3 to 4 minutes, when I give my next cue, it's a breathing cue. Soften the low belly, take that breath all the way down to fill that low belly, and a slow exhale out. Or maybe I'm coming back to the meditation theme that I've chosen for that day, that I begin the session, I end the session, and I give prompts or visualization cues for it in between each restorative stretch. And so maybe it's coming back to, visualizing something around self-compassion, or we have a lot of different meditation themes, but gratitude, self-compassion. There are themes related to nature or your own inner sanctuary. whatever it is, giving those cues. So we're really facilitating this, because I don't know about you, but I need that, or my mind is gonna wander and go somewhere else. And so it's a very curated experience for our clients. And on the massage table, it's not every 3 to 4 minutes. It's maybe when I'm noticing that the client is wiggly, or that I can tell they're not in a completely relaxed state. And we also begin and end the sessions with a guided visualization meditation, so that they can return to that throughout the session as well. So we talked about breathing a little bit, the longer exhale than inhale, and how that calms our heart rate or slows the heart rate down. There's also something called diaphragmatic breathing, and this is, some other folks might call it belly breathing. So it's encouraging a full oxygen exchange. And this is where I really encourage the soft low belly. If you'll notice right now, are you clenching the muscles in your belly? I am. I do it unconsciously, and I think a lot of us are maybe raised that way. Let it go. Soften the low belly. Now take a full breath and see how you can fill the lungs all the way down to the bottom of the lungs. There are other types of breathing that we tend to just have as habits. Thoracic breathing. So we all know the thoracic area. And this is our shallow chest breathing. We're not getting a whole lot of oxygen in or out, really. And we're using our intercostal muscles quite a bit to just survive with our breath, right? And then we have clavicular breathing, so collarbone, right, where it's very shallow. This is maybe more when we're exercising, right? Take a big deep breath, and it's just sort of sits right here. And then there's a paradoxical breathing. And this is where it's almost like opposite, where the chest contracts while you're inhaling and expands while you're exhaling, which is not the order in which that should happen. And so just kind of notice how you're breathing. And it's good to kind of understand what these are, so that when you do notice, it's like, oh yeah, look at that. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to soften that low belly. I'm going to have a nice straight spine. And now I'm going to be able to take my full breaths. And these are all things that are good for both you and your client. Emotions also have a lot to do with breathing, right? So I'm sure you know, when you're anxious or upset, your breath can become very shallow and maybe rapid. When you're happy, that good diaphragmatic breathing is a little easier to achieve. Many women who have had children have more of this clavicular thoracic breathing. I just mentioned, I'm sitting up straight. If you're slouching, slouch and try to take a nice deep breath. It's almost impossible. It hurts almost for me. And then we talked about this, like sucking the stomach in or clenching the muscles around the stomach, tight clothing. All of this can really inhibit the good diaphragmatic breathing. Okay, we talked about this first bullet point a little bit already. The second one is just this idea and knowledge that when we are doing our good breathing, that kind of is nice and slow paced, takes the breath all the way down to the bottom of the lungs, we're actually massaging the vagus nerve when we do that. The vagus nerve is what carries all of this parasympathetic communication. And so when we're able to massage this nerve, we're actually helping to calm the nervous system and enter into a deeper parasympathetic state. So that's pretty cool, right? That we can control what state we're in simply through the breath. Okay, we already talked about this last one. The power of stretch. Okay, so why and how is stretching important to the mind-body connection? I'm not going to go too much into fascia. You know, the research on fascia is still in its infancy. There's nothing hard and fast conclusive, although I would say that about any research in general. There's always something new that we find. But what we do know so far, or what we think we know, is that fascia communicates with the nervous system, and fascia can be manipulated through stretching and through massage. So when we stretch, like I mentioned, it gives us an opportunity to bring our focus to sensations felt in the body, which in and of itself helps us to maintain a mind-body connection. And outside of the mind-body connection, we know it's just very important in terms of mobility and chronic pain. Our muscles without stretching or activity tend to become short, tight, and weak. And so it's important not only just for the physical component, but for the mind-body connection piece of it. At Yomassage, we use restorative stretch. Restorative is you should never feel pain when you're stretching. It's very easy and it lets the body slowly release the connective tissues, the fascia. So we're bolstered with yoga bolsters and blocks and blankets. And if clients feel like, okay, I've been in this stretch for a little bit, it feels really comfortable, I think maybe I want to have a little bit more of a stretch, they can remove some of those props. And now their body is able to get a little bit more into that stretch. Okay. So types of stretching, like I just talked about our restorative stretch. This is effortless. You should be able to fall asleep in these positions. This is not like, if some of you might be familiar with yin yoga, yin is like, okay, I don't know how long I can stay in this. This is a pretty intense stretch. That is not what we're going for at all. That's going to put us into our sympathetic nervous system. We want to be very relaxed. The body is doing the work on its own time, and you're still getting the benefits in these deep connective tissues. Okay. So we're going to do just a little mindful neck stretch together, just to experience what I'm talking about here. So we'll go ahead and we're just going to take the left ear to the left shoulder, towards the left shoulder, not to the left shoulder. And go ahead and take your right arm, your opposing arm, out to the side. And you're going to take your chin just slowly in the direction of your shoulder. And while you're doing that, you're going to flip your palm from facing up to facing down. And we're just going to explore this. And then you're going to slowly move that chin up towards the ceiling or the sky. And we're going to explore, continuing to move that arm. Where do you feel tightness? Or just a sensation? Where do you feel more of a sensation than somewhere else? And wherever you feel that, you're going to stop. And we're going to breathe into it. We're going to be very gentle, ease off a little bit if it feels like a little too much. Soften that low belly, sit up straight. Take a nice big breath all the way down. And we're going to take that tension or sensation we're feeling in the neck and let it all go out through the breath. Nice, slow exhale, a little bit slower than that inhale. We'll do that a couple more times until you really feel a difference where that neck is. And then we'll come back into the room. So I hope from that exercise, you could really feel you were focusing, you were mindful on just what was going on there in your neck. You were using the breath as a tool to release tension. And hopefully now you can actually feel a difference in maybe finding some more softness there. Okay, so that is what I have for you today. We do have an intro to Yomassage course you can find on our, actually, that is not on our website anymore. It is on some of our advertisements. But if you're interested in the intro to Mind Body, it's 1CE. It's free. There's more of this information in that training. It's virtual. We have a Yomassage podcast, and we haven't recorded anyone in ages. This is sort of a COVID project, but it has some good stuff that could be good for your clients in terms of how to feel good. That's the theme of the podcast, is all the things that make you feel good, the research behind it, and how we can apply that to our lives realistically. We do have a Yomassage social spa I mentioned here, one of hopefully many in the future here in Portland, Oregon. That's where I am located. So would love for all of you to come visit at some point and see what we're up to there. And then I wanted to let you know that we are offering folks who came to this EduTalk 30% off of any of our therapist certifications through 2023, and that expires on Sunday. So we have a virtual training. Well, all of our trainings are virtual. One is asynchronous, meaning kind of self-paced on your own time. You have 3 months to complete it. The other is 3 weeks. So you're in a cohort with community and other massage therapists going through it together. And then that's for our floor-based. And then we have a table Yomassage as well, where you can do the restorative stretches and our protocol on the table one-on-one with clients. And so this would apply to that as well. And that is a self-paced training too. So I'm happy and excited to answer any questions you all might have.
Great. I did see Patrice submitted a question. How is Yomassage different from techniques like trigger point therapy and myofascial release?
Yeah, so we're all together different. We actually don't use any trigger point therapy in our sessions. We really are about mind-body connection and deep relaxation. So that's our focus, and we use the body, the breath, and stretch as vehicles to achieve a parasympathetic state, to achieve a high level of mind-body connection. That's really what we're about.
All right. I had a question with the next stretch that you just walked us through.
Yes.
The breath work during that stretch. I mean, are you inhaling, then leaning your ear towards your shoulder, exhaling? I mean, how does the breath work with simple stretches like that?
Well, so if you're imagine doing that without incorporating the breath work, right? So you're just in here and you're like, oh, okay, I don't know what I can feel. Ouch, that hurts a little. I'm going to come off of it. Like, that is a completely different experience than engaging your breath and able to, in order to release tension, right? And so when we're in a stretch, we're noticing, okay, I feel some sensation there. I'm going to now, and when we feel sensation that maybe is tight or it hurts a little, we're going to start to engage in our sympathetic nervous system. And so now we're using the breath to kind of come in, calm that vagus nerve, massage that vagus nerve, get us into our parasympathetic, which then allows us to release the physical tension. And so it really isn't a matter of, do I breathe before or after, in the middle? It's just incorporating the breath into that exercise of the stretch, if that makes sense.
Okay. Would you mind closing the last page of your resource? And I'd like to mention to everyone that tomorrow's follow-up email will include this full PowerPoint presentation that Tiffany has put together for us. And we still have time for more questions. Darcy has a question. I teach parasympathetic lymphatic, is that it? Lympathetic massage, and it involves everything you have just talked about. Slow and easy. My clients enjoy a life change.
It's true. And the other thing this actually makes me think about is we also have a trauma-informed bodywork certification that we offer to folks who have already been through our training. All of our trainings incorporate an intro to trauma-informed bodywork because we're very passionate about that. But that is, you know, I think what Darcy's talking about, part of the slow and easy, that is part of that, right? Building trust, creating a safe space, letting the client be involved. And yeah, it's very important, especially when we're working with folks. Like I see here in the chat, Patrice said something about using massage to help her clients with depression and anxiety. So we have a lot of folks. You'll learn it's so many more people than you think suffer from these things. And it could be folks you don't even realize that are coming in that do have these other issues going on. And it's really important that we're treating everyone in a way where they're feeling safe and able to enter into that parasympathetic state to receive the maximum benefits.
Another chat just came in. Let's see. All of this sounds like everything that I'm currently doing, which is phenomenal, especially with diaphragmatic breathing. Clients are amazed when you teach them how to breathe properly and feel the difference. And as a trauma survivor, I am very interested in incorporating more resume-informed work. We all have some form of trauma that needs to be released. Trauma.
Yeah. I think very true. None of us are immune, right, from that. And clients are they feel the difference in your level of care when you are teaching them these things to take home with them. Instead of it's just, the session, great to see you, see you next month or whatever. They really feel connected to you in a different way, and you're helping them in at a much deeper level.
Now, most massages that I've received, there's music playing. How does music tie into the breath work, the mind-body connection, staying focused? How does that all work together?
Yeah, we also have music at the spa, but that's an interesting question, and that's probably a pretty long-winded answer, actually, and goes more into our trauma-informed bodywork certification. Music does play quite a role in emotion, right? And so it's something to carefully consider depending on who you're working with, for sure. But yeah, we can still have these guided meditations and breathwork cues and all of that while music is playing in the background.
Oh, that's great to know. Everyone, we still have time for another question, comments, anything you would like to ask Tiffany? Let's see. A lot of massage therapists work with the sympathetic responses and are not trained in body-mind work and how these spaces doesn't have to be lifelong struggles. Talk more about trauma work.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could be here. I could do a whole talk on the trauma stuff for sure.
Well, let's put that on the list for 2024, but.
Yes, yeah. No, I mean, it's huge, right? There's just so many factors consider. I honestly wouldn't know where to start in just a Q&A here, but it's very, very important to consider where people are mentally and emotionally so that we can actually make differences in their body. Otherwise, they're going to keep coming back with the same physical issues because they're manifestations of what's going on emotionally. And so it's more of a spot treatment, where it's like, okay, I'm going to help you feel better today, but tomorrow probably it's going to come back because everything that's going on in here and in here is still happening. And it's when we learn how to regulate our nervous systems and get out of the intensity of those emotions, then we can really start to make a difference in our body.
Great. And then just to confirm, your website is yomassage.com.
Yes, that's correct.
And Patrice, is this similar to somatic bodywork?
It's not. No, we are not talking about anything that's happening in the client's life. We're not trained or, training anybody to guide people through their actual issues in life, or to even like make that connection necessarily. We are focused really on helping them learn how to just notice what's happening and learn the tools to regulate.
All right. And if I mispronounce your name, forgive me, but Sinjeli is asking more about trauma-informed bodywork certification. She checked the website and really didn't see anything. Yomassage and
it's
table
not
yoga.
on here. It's only in our members portal. So after you have taken one of our trainings and become certified and then choose, if you do choose to become a member, you have access to all of our continuing education, and the trauma-informed bodywork is one of those courses.
Well, it sounds very interesting. Now, again, I would just like to ask you if you have anything in closing. And before I do that, though, let me just say thank you, everyone. You will receive a follow-up email tomorrow with a recording link and a copy of Tiffany's full PowerPoint presentation and the best way to contact her. Join us again for upcoming EduTalks, and I can't believe it's going to be September 12th. We have Portia Resnick presenting on sports massage, current research, and client benefits. The new EduTalk Diabetes series has Nathan Leish presenting Protect Your Feet, Prevent Diabetes-Related Amputations with Effective Foot Care. So this could be very interesting for any of your clients that may have diabetes, and how massage may play a part to that. September 26th, Kathleen Leeson presents Stress Reduction for the Lymphatic System. And watch your in-basket for follow-up on this. Tiffany, now again, if you'd like to repeat your website, your discount offer, we'd love to hear it one more time.
You can also check us out on our Instagram, which is, we have one for just Yomassage, and then also one for our spa, which is Yomassage Selwood. But yes, our website, yomassage.com, there's a lot of info there. And the discount for you guys is through Sunday, 30% off our signature training or our table training, either one, with the code EduTalk. And yeah, we have one starting in September for the 3-week version, and we have another in November. So we have 2 more for the year that are the 3-week cohort model. And then there's also, like I said, the self-paced that you can sign up for and complete that within 3 months.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Watch your inbox for follow-up email tomorrow. If you do not see it in the afternoon, check your spam folder, please. And please put the name in chat. Last question. How would this be incorporated with our current sessions, or is that covered in the training?
That's not covered in the training. The training is specific to Yomassage, protocols. So that is something we're thinking about putting together, though, is more of just, we call it at the spa, mindful massage. And so, yeah, it might be coming.
Okay, so keep an eye on your website and keep
an eye. Yeah.
Well, thank you, everyone. Really appreciated you being here. Visit the EduTalk archive library on biotone.com under the EduTalk tab. And you can also RSVP there for upcoming EduTalks. And Tiffany, can't thank you enough. This was very informative. And we will look forward to hearing more from you.
Yes, awesome. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you. Take care. Be
Bye.
safe, everyone. And if you're at AMTA, stop by the Biotone booth and hopefully I'll run into you. Take care. Bye-bye.